Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Where the 99 Lead. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and Where the 99 Lead, it's a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, where we discuss all topics surrounding the University of Pikeville, academics, athletics. We discuss the many different academic opportunities at the University of Pikeville, the Coleman College of Business, the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, the brand new Kentucky College of Optometry, and today's topic, the new degree available in film and media arts at the university. And special guest joining us today, Assistant Professor of Film and Media Arts, Andrew Reed. Welcome back, Andrew.
Thank you for having me here.
You've been here before. Before we go any further, let's talk about Andrew Reed, where you come from, a little bit of your bio before arriving here at the university.
Yeah, well, I'm from a small town in northwest Alabama, home to about 1,000 people, called Phil Campbell. Did my high school work there and went to community college there. Did my undergrad at the University of North Alabama in Florence. And I went to the University of Alabama for my master's. And then I went to the University of North Carolina at Greensboro for my MFA, my terminal degree. And now I'm in Pikeville, Kentucky here at UPike. This is the end of my third semester teaching here at UPike.
Very good. And an exciting new major at the University of Pikeville as well, Film and Media Arts. We'll talk about that today. Adrian Smith also joins us, a University of Pikeville junior and Film and Media Arts major. Adrian, welcome in.
Howdy, it's good to be here.
Let's talk about you. Let's talk about where you come from and how you arrived here at the university.
Well, I started over in Belfry, and I needed somewhere close, somewhere in the dorm, and I heard UPike had some great things. I wanted the film media. I know it was new, and I looked into it, and I liked what I saw, and now I'm here, and I love it. Love to be here.
Adrian Smith, Belfry, Kentucky native.
Oh yeah, I'm local.
Part of the Pond Creek Nation.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Very good. Good to have you here. Andrew, the Film and Media Arts program is one of the newest majors at the University of Pikeville, and also quickly becoming one of the most popular. Talk about the program a little bit.
Yeah, so this is the fourth year of our program, and basically the idea behind it is we want to teach students to be well-rounded in video production. So we try to teach them as many aspects of video production as possible, and it starts really with an introduction to what this is about. So in the 135 class, they get an introduction to this field. They learn about the history of film, the history of television production, and kind of where that's going. You know, we live in a highly mediated society now. And then in the 235 class, basic video production, we teach them the basics of camcorder operation and editing. All right, so they learn a little bit about the scripting process. They will shoot some basic short scenes. They do a news package. They do a short documentary. Sure. And then we have a variety of advanced courses that allow them to create a full short film, a fiction and nonfiction, more news packages, programs that would air here on Pike TV, eventually a thesis film. So there's a lot of different types of projects that the students are going to be involved in. And I'll mention briefly here that actually I've just put in a request in the fall of 2016 to teach a class on how to make a digital comic book. All right, so we're always trying to come up with some new and exciting things.
Sure.
And skill sets to teach the students.
Absolutely, and you have to be on the forefront of where this technology is going, because while film and television go way back, constantly changing also, and as you mentioned, digital comic books. What is the next big thing in electronic media? Because it's film and media arts, and you have to stay in touch with where that is and what the students will be doing 10 years from now may be very different than what we're seeing today.
Yes, it's definitely true. The skills and the tools that are used change a lot.
Sure.
Ultimately, you're quite often still making the same type of product, or maybe it's the same product but it's on a different medium. But yes, there's a lot of changes in production workflow over the years, and we try to prepare students for those changes because a lot of what we teach them now will be out of date within 5 years. Sure. To a degree on some of the software and stuff, and sometimes the equipment too. But those basic skills transfer over to the new stuff pretty easily. We try to teach them how to teach themselves a lot of times.
What type of student is this major for?
It's a good question. The thing I like the most about this type of work is that there are jobs available where you can be your own boss. and there's a lot of jobs where you get to go from one project to the next. And so if you go into this field, you can get into a program, get into a area of work that changes a lot. So you always get to learn new technology, new skill sets, and you're always going to be working with a variety of clients on a lot of different types of projects depending on what you want to do. And you've really got multiple paths. You can try to become an independent filmmaker. You can go out and try to work in these big production areas like California or Georgia and work on film sets as a production assistant, work your way up.
Sure.
Or you can be the independent filmmaker. And then additionally, you have a lot of other types of production work you can do. You can do corporate video work, wedding videos in the area. In addition to that, there's broadcast options available. Lots of our graduates go on and work in the news in various capacities, YMT, EKB. We've both got graduates right now in those places. So there's a lot of options available to people.
This is a type of major that, whether someone goes into news production, what have you, in film and media arts, it's something that they seem very passionate about, not just their 8-hour-a-day job or in the industry 12-hour-a-day job, but it's also something that is a hobby of theirs. While they may be working for a news organization, filmmaking may also be a hobby of theirs and working on documentaries. It's not like an accounting major who puts in their 8 to 10 hour a day, goes home and they don't think about accounting. This is something they can take with them as something they enjoy doing. Very passionate people is what I've found in film and media arts. Adrian Smith, a film and media arts major. Let's talk to one of the students, one of those that is the face of what is an FMA student. What's been your favorite class in film and media arts, and tell us why?
Well, currently I think my favorite class is FMA 335. It's digital film production. And it's where we get to make a short film of like what we want. I mean, there's a criteria and guidelines we must follow, but essentially we get to make whatever we want, and I love it. I love that so much because it's where I get to like put like me into it. I get to like just make this awesome production and get to show it to people, my fellow classmates, and get to put it up on YouTube and let anyone who wants to watch it can. And I love it. I love just putting all of me just into my productions.
I want to back up just a little bit to your time in high school, your time growing up. Maybe it wasn't offered in high school, but video editing is something that, because of technology, because of the computer and software that is available, with the advent of smartphones, great video is available there that can be taken and edited and produced. Is this something you had done before college? Is this something you had an idea that you had a love for?
Oh yeah, I actually started about when I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
It started on my computer, and it was very it was terrible. It wasn't the best quality or anything. Now it's a lot better, and you can see that it's all over the web. Like my old stuff, I keep it up so I can go back to it and just compare it to what I'm doing now to what I used to do. And I love like all that I've accomplished. It's improved so much overall. Just it's amazing how much this university has gave to me.
Making films, making documentaries, doing the video production is something that you can show your personality with what you produce, the topic matter, the subjects that you go after, and bringing that to other people. In the course of this class, in the course of your college career, or even back to when you were 12 years old, while the quality may not have been great, what's been the favorite film that you've put together? Is something that, if you had one film to say, go to YouTube, look at this. This is my favorite.
If I had to say I had my favorite film, it would probably be The Final Exam. It's one of the ones I most recently put out, and it's my longest film, and I like to think it's the most exciting. It's about final exams and the stress going to put on students and how they're sort of like zombied. It's a parody of The Walking Dead, so it's like the students are zombies because the finals is just taking so much out of them, and the plot's kind of but I think it gives an overall good story.
And the professors are Rick and Daryl and Errol and Carl. And
Carl.
Oh yeah,
You got it.
Yeah, I changed most people's name, but I had to put Carl in there because Carl.
You have to.
Yeah, I just had to do it.
You have to. Is this something you'd like to do in your future, in your career?
Oh yeah, I would love it. I love doing it every day. I love just going out with a camera and shooting something. Even now during finals week, I don't have that much time, but what time I do have, I'm going to go out and make another video before the semester's over with. because I just love doing this so much.
I think it is. It's a major that many of the students that I've talked to have a great deal of passion for. It's something they enjoy doing outside the classroom, even outside work when they move on. Andrew, you and your students have been working on a feature-length project focusing on Breaks Interstate Park. Tell us about that feature-length project.
Yeah, so it was in late 2014 that Kurt Mullins of Friends of Breaks Park approached me, and he had this idea to do a feature-length film on the Breaks Interstate Park.
Sure.
And the idea behind it had been going on for a while, and he actually had a full script and had a lot of footage, but really hadn't had it assembled yet. And he was looking for someone to sort of co-direct this project with. And so he got involved with me, and I got our students involved in it. So in a class we had in the spring of 2015, we went to the park, got a lot of footage, and then we as a class split up the documentary, and we sort of, each group had a different section they edited together. They had a script, they had all these sources, and so they got to really understand what it was like to be a professional editor, where you're just kind of given this footage that you've never seen before, and you have to assemble it using some directions. You know, sometimes you don't even get directions. Sure. But that was a good learning experience for them, and we've since continued to work on that in various capacities. We've taken more students to the park, done some more filming. There was a very nice drone that we've had access to that shoots in 4K. It's unbelievable. And I've been, right now we're assembling that. We've got, trying to get picture lock here in the next few days, but we've got some grant money in to support the project. We're having a variety of different universities provide the score for the film. They're composing it and working together to create that. So we're very excited about that project, and it should be finished shortly. The goal, or well, the cut's going to be done shortly. We're going to try to get a professional narrator, and so some of the grant money we were applying for is to try to get someone that's, you know, semi-famous or to do the narration. We have a temp track in there right now, but we're very optimistic about it. We definitely, you know, it definitely will be on regional public television, hopefully state public television in Virginia and Kentucky as well, and then hopefully it can go beyond that. We'll just see.
How does working on a feature-length film differ than the projects the students work on during the course of a semester?
With a feature-length film, you're going to spend a lot more time on it, and it's a very big investment. Typically, you want to see a good return on any project you're involved with, and you know, that's going to vary what it is, but you know, appeasing a few people or you know, something like that. But with a feature, typically you want to have some impact with it. You want to get it on public television at the state level, you know, something like that, something good, or get into quite a few festivals. And so that's our goal with the Breaks Interstate Park film. We want it to be a tool to help promote the park and help continue the revenue or to help continue the funding that goes into the park to keep it running. That's one of the things we're trying to hope to do with it.
Obviously, promotion, a part of video production, is promoting Breaks Interstate Park. But there's an important element as well in video production is recording the history, and something that, while Adrian's produced films back to when he was 12 years old, there's a certain amount of history you can learn about Adrian Smith in looking at those. And anything that's produced can be archived and looked at later and recorded history. That's why one of the reasons I believe video production very important, and the better the quality, the more that it's able to reach. Andrew, the university hosting another film festival coming up. We know you had one maybe in the spring last semester. Tell us about the preparations for this next film festival.
All right, so this spring, April 8th and 9th, we're having the second edition of the UPike Film and Media Arts Festival. The website is fmafest.org, and the goal of this festival is really to promote filmmaking in the tri-state region and across the U.S. And we're really going to try to split up our 2 days of programming. Friday trying to focus mostly on films from the tri-state area, and Saturday leaving it more broad. And so one of the cool things about our festival is that it's free to submit to if you're from this tri-state region, or if your film was shot in this tri-state region of Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia.
Sure.
And it's open to middle school, high school, college, and professionals. And so there are cash prizes, and starting in January, myself and a few students are going to go to some of these schools and kind of do a little workshop and encourage some of the students to participate. So it's kind of a recruiting tool for our program as well. But the goal is really to highlight work in this region and across the U.S. that we think people from this area would appreciate. Me being from a rural area myself, I identify and relate to a lot of the people here. And so I feel like we're going to try to select programming that they would appreciate, the type of films that they enjoy. And so that's the goal of the festival. And one of the cool things this year that we didn't have last year is that we're having a special topics course about film festivals.
Right.
And so we have students that are getting credit to study film festivals, study the process of hosting one, running one, fundraising for one, planning one, and judging entries as well. So the class is going to spend a substantial amount of time judging the entries that we get.
Sure.
And they're going to be helping us select the films we want to show at this event and determine the winners. So I'm very excited about that, and I think they're going to learn a lot about not only the judging process, but also hosting an event and what all goes into that. So it should be a lot of fun and valuable learning experience for the students.
I think so. Andrew Reed is Assistant Professor of Film and Media Arts at the University of Pikeville, our guest on this edition of Where the 99 Lead. Also Adrian Smith, UPike Jr., majoring in Film and Media Arts. He's a guy you may see on campus out and about with a camera pointed directly at you, filming his next great documentary. Andrew, you mentioned the second film festival coming to the university. Talk about the different types of films that you had submitted to the first.
We had a good variety of work submitted last time. We had a variety of nonfiction films, documentaries, then we had a variety of fiction films as well. We're really interested in trying to showcase young talent, I would say. We're looking at everything, but having middle school kids come in, that was great. We had a busload come in last time from West Virginia nearby, and then we had quite a few college students come in to show their work. And the great thing about our festival is that since we're getting a lot of tri-state entries, since it's free for those people to submit, is that those people can easily travel here. Okay,
Sure.
A lot of festivals that may have free submission for the whole U.S., they're going to get a lot of entries, and they're going to get a lot of things from people that live far away. Okay,
Right.
Those people, they can't afford to bring those people there. But we're a small festival with a small budget. But since we're focusing primarily on tri-state work, those people that get in, they can easily travel here. And the audiences that come get to actually speak with the filmmaker, and then the filmmaker has a way to get feedback on their work. And that's what I like about it a lot.
Obviously you can't accept, or you can accept, but every film that is submitted will be part of the festival?
No, because we get way too many entries.
I would think.
That's the judging process. Yeah, that's what the judging process is for. But we will look at every film that's submitted. And obviously, a middle school film is judged by different criteria than a high school film. And so we plan to divide up our time equally and try to make sure that we highlight a lot of the different work with special attention given to work from the tri-state area, and making sure that each category, middle school, high school, gets adequate submissions.
In the first festival, how many submissions did you receive?
That's a good question. I believe we had several hundred. I believe we had several hundred that we looked at, or at least 150 or so, and me and two other people watched all of those.
A lot of film.
Yeah, it was a
lot of
lot.
film.
So now we have a whole class to do it this time. And the thing about that is, watching other people's work is a great way for you to understand how to be a better filmmaker, because when you're trying to make films, you're submitting things to festivals, okay, and it's being judged. And you need to know what it's like to be a judge, because then you can make better work, all right? You have a short attention span.
Right.
So you're really looking at things. And most of the time, if something is not that good within the first minute, then the rest of it's not going to be good either. So you really know that you need to make sure it's a polished film and is good in that first minute. And so I think by seeing a lot of different types of work, both good and bad, it's going to really help our students grow as filmmakers, because I know it helped me over the years. I've served as a judge at different festivals in various capacities, and it's really helped me understand what makes a film good and what makes a bad film bad.
Right. And I guess we can understand those critics that are going out and watching the films that we see, and they see things differently than we do as simple audience members sometimes.
Yeah, mainly it's the frequency. They see so many films, and they see so many bad films, they just kind of become jaded and disillusioned. That's what happens to festival judges. You're going to see a lot of stuff that's not that great. You're going to be expecting to be unimpressed just because you see so much. And so that's the problem. But we get a lot of great entries, though, at our thing.
Sure.
I'll mention that. We get a lot of great entries. There's a lot of great stuff. The most of it's good stuff.
Right.
So it's going to be a valuable process for these students, and we're looking forward to showcasing a lot of great work this year.
There you go. Adrian Smith, UPike Jr. and Film and Media Arts major guest as well. Adrian, talk about some of your experiences. You talk about a film that you've worked on that focuses on final exams. Talk about your experiences out in the field, some of the things that you've encountered while filming.
I'm a lot better at communication now than I was when I first came here, because there's a lot of communicating when making a film, like communicating with your actors and people who walk by and just want to talk to you about the film, and just mostly intrusions when you have to tell people to move out of your way so you can get certain things filmed. That happens a whole lot,
yeah.
Especially on the final exam, because that took place here on campus. So we had a lot of students, like especially near the end of the class, people just walking by, not paying much regard. So I usually just say, hey, like either hold on a second or go on through. And so it's been fun, and I've learned a whole lot throughout this whole little endeavor here, and I can't wait to see what else I learn.
Have people reacted differently to you, Adrian Smith, the student, as opposed to Adrian Smith, who happens to have a camera?
Oh yeah. You get a different reaction from people when you have a camera in your hand. A lot different. People seem to be nicer, or like, hey, can I be one of your films?
Sure.
Because they want to be in front of that camera. They want to be the center of attention. So they're a lot nicer to me. Not saying they're bad to me when I don't have a camera, but they pay a certain mind to you whenever you have a camera in your hand.
There's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
As we've seen, law enforcement wearing body cams. When people realize there's a camera there, they act a little differently. And then there are the others that don't. So it's very interesting for you, I know. Adrian Smith, Film and Media Arts major. Andrew Reed, Assistant Professor of Film and Media Arts. It's one of the most popular programs at the University of Pikeville, growing quickly because it allows students to hands-on get the experiences needed in their careers. Film and Media Arts students are also gaining valuable experience in the field of news. Talk about Bear TV, that news, and the role students play in that production.
Okay, so Bear TV News is a monthly student newscast that our students put together, and usually it's done in the FMA 330 and FMA 430 classes, and also the COM 430 class I'll be teaching this spring. All three of those classes contribute in various capacities to this monthly newscast. And the goal of the newscast is to document what's going on at the school at that month. What are the big things that are going on? And typically we have 4 news packages, and then we have some VO segments, some reader segments that are mixed in, but that's typically what each news show consists of. And the show is written by the students. I help with the production. I'm here, but they're essentially running the show.
Right.
And they edit it themselves. I oversee the production of the packages. They go out, they film things, they bring it back, I look at it, we critique it together. But they're essentially putting this together. And by the time they get out of the class, they can all edit a package. They all know how to do that, and they've had the opportunity to anchor if they want to. Not everybody wants to, and we understand that. So we don't require people to anchor, but they do have to have a certain role in the show. And so I'll mention this. One of the things that I like about this major is that a lot of the things, we teach it as a trade. And you can come in and not even have an FMA degree, but you can come in here and take 1 or 2 classes, and you can go out into the real world and you have enough experience and enough stuff in your reel to get a job at a broadcast studio, depending on the size of the market and
Sure.
their need for people there. But you have enough skill sets to get an entry-level job in there just by taking 1 or 2 classes. And there aren't a lot of classes, I think, at most universities that offer that ability to
Right.
just come in, take a class, and then go immediately get a job. So that's one of the things I'm really proud of.
And I think many people that tune in to any newscast see the faces on screen and don't realize the number that goes in, the number of people that have gone behind the scenes to put that together. And I think many people are surprised by that. Film and Media Arts, it's not just about being in front of the camera. So much of the work, so much of the quality is behind the scenes, and an important part of news production. Bear TV, I've seen it. I've enjoyed it as well. Andrew, you've also, Adrian rather, you've been involved in many films, all the way back to 12 years old when you were just a youngster. What made you decide to make your first film?
Well, I mean, at first it was sort of just a way to express myself, like, hey, this is funny, why don't I share it with the public? And let everyone else see what I think is funny. Most of the time, it wasn't received very well at my young age, but now I have a better understanding of what the general public wants to see, and now it's pretty. I'd like to think my films are relevant. People actually enjoy them.
You've worked on a variety of films. Tell us about your favorite projects, and how would you describe your filmmaking style?
My favorite project, I mean, the Final Exam, that was probably one of my favorites, but my other one is probably one that I worked at beginning of the semester. It was called The Working Title, and it was just sort of where I just went out and had some fun with my actors and let them just sort of run whatever they wanted to do. I had a script, they could improv whatever they wanted. And it was fun, and my style is a comedy. I just love comedy. I love making people laugh and putting a smile on their face. If they watch one of my videos and they laugh and have a smile by the end of the video, then I like to think I'm accomplished in that.
Where can I find your videos on YouTube?
Well, and it's under two names. Go to AJ3035, yeah, or Sopada. I'm not sure really on the pronunciation, so I'm gonna just spell it out.
Okay.
Sopada, I believe so. It's been a while.
Very good. AJ3035.
Yes.
Very good. And that's where a majority of your projects are.
Yeah. I mean, there's some I won't post on there for reasons they're not very good. Maybe I'll post them on the second channel, but we'll discuss that.
You'll have millions of hits after this program.
I'll mention too, we have a variety of the things that we've done for the FMA program are on YouTube as well. People
Please.
can get on YouTube, just type in UPike FMA or Bear TV News. They can find it on Google. You can type in UPike FMA YouTube. You can find our channel. We have a wide variety of stuff that we push there.
I would imagine, and a great way, because I think anyone that's tuned in now, whether it's radio or television today, they're familiar with YouTube. We've all seen Grouchy Cat. We've seen all the different types of videos that are out there, and isn't it amazing the number of videos that are out there now? There are a couple of guys working in production on this show that have got some of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my life, and I can't tell you where they're located on YouTube. I believe they were taken down for various reasons. Film and Media Arts, a new major at the University of Pikeville. During the spring semester, Andrew, students will have an opportunity to take on a different type of project, client-based work. Talk about that.
Okay, so at some of the past universities I've been involved with, there was an upper level class called like client-based productions. And basically the idea behind it is to do work for the community, either through the university, nonprofits, or businesses, do video production work for those entities. And so we designed something like that to offer here because we get a lot of requests from various groups. Hey, can you video this? Can you video that? And obviously it's not really fair just to provide a free service. You know, I mean, you don't call the English program when you want an ad written, you know, hey, can you write this ad for me? But we get inundated with requests. Sure. People don't understand it. Right. But anyway, so what we decided to do is to try to do free video work for nonprofits and, you know, the university, but then try to do work for businesses for them, but only if they donate like some equipment to our program. That's
Sure.
the concept behind it. And so it's good because we're doing things for the community and students get a real life work experience. When you start off doing video production for other people, you have to meet their demands. You have to satisfy them and give them what they want. And so this allows students to learn what that's like,
Right.
while still doing it in a safe environment where their livelihood doesn't depend on it. They're not doing it for a paycheck. You know, they're just doing it as a school project. And so that was the goal behind the class. And so we're looking at taking on a variety of projects from the community. So if someone out there watching has a business that they would like to have a video made about that business, then they can contact me, Andrew Reed at upike.edu, and we can talk about that. We can do that in the class, and we can look at what the cost would be, and then have some equipment donated that equals that amount.
Sure.
That's what we're doing. So that's the basic idea.
Not just businesses, but also nonprofit organizations.
Yeah, and we don't require donations for nonprofits. We'll do them at least one video and then
Sure.
do that. Yeah.
But it's a great way for a business or a nonprofit to get their video out. Give us that email address again.
Yeah.
They can contact you.
My personal email is andrewreed at upike.edu, AndrewReed at upike.edu.
Andrew Reed, Assistant Professor of Film and Media Arts at the University of Pikeville, our guest. Thanks for being here today. It's an exciting program.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Adrian Smith, a Film and Media Arts major, a junior at the University of Pikeville, and we'll be waiting for your next great film release. Please let us know.
Oh, will do.
Adrian Smith, Andrew Reed, our guest on this edition of Where the 99 Leads. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host. Thanks for tuning in to Where the 99 Lead, a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, the leading university of Central Appalachia.